What's up, USHL fans? Welcome to week 8 of the U Show, where we recap everything that went on around the league from this past weekend. Let's start with our players of the week. Up first, we got Alex Pelletier of the Lincoln Stars, who actually recently committed to Boston College. So a big congratulations over to Alex. He recorded 7 points on 3 goals and 4 assists in a pair of home wins against the Fargo Force. He posted 1 goal and 1 assist in Lincoln's 3-0 win against Fargo on Friday, then helped the Stars overcome a couple of 2-goal deficits on Saturday with 2 goals and 3 assists in Lincoln's 7-4 victory. He finished the weekend with a +5 rating and currently leads the league in points with 25 and goals with 16.
Pelletier up ice. Pelletier splits the Red Sea. He's in by himself. In front, just rolled off his stick. The rebound. He scores!
Now let's go to the blue line, where our defenseman of the week was Ryan White-Rabbit, the defenseman for the Waterloo Blackhawks, who is committed to Augustana University. He led USHL defensemen with 6 points over the weekend, scoring a goal and recording 5 assists in Waterloo's sweep at Tri-City on Friday and Saturday. He registered 2 assists in the Blackhawks' come-from-behind 6-3 win at Tri-City on Friday, then had 1 goal and 3 assists in Waterloo's 6-1 win the following night. He finished the weekend with 5 shots and a +7 rating and his first 2 multi-point games in the USHL. So big congrats to Ryan White-Rabbit.
Carries onto the offensive zone, stops, drops it for White-Rabbit. He shoots, he scores! Here come the Hawks! Ryan White-Rabbit from the deep slot.
Now to the blue paint, we got our goaltender of the week, Carl Axelson of the Muskegon Lumberjacks. He's committed to the University of Minnesota Duluth. He helped Muskegon stretch their winning streak to 6 games with a 6-1 and 3-1 victory against Des Moines on Friday and Saturday, leading USHL goalies with more than 60 minutes played with a 1.00 goals against average and a .965 save percentage. He turned aside 26 of 27 shots on Friday, then made 29 stops on another nearly perfect outing on Saturday. He's tied for second amongst goalies this season with a 2.00 goals against average and ranks third among USHL netminders with a .929 save percentage. He leads the league in wins with 9. Now let's take a look around the league. For the second straight weekend, Lincoln won in spectacular fashion on Saturday. They came back from 2 separate 2-goal deficits to win 7-4 against Fargo at home. After going winless through their first 4 games of the season, last year's Anderson Cup champions are 8-2-0 in their last 10 games. Muskegon is on a 7-game winning streak after taking care of Des Moines on Friday and Saturday, then Chicago on Sunday. And a big note is that Tynan Lawrence has been out of the lineup since October 24th, 25th, which was his first weekend back. So the Lumberjacks are doing this without their best player. Not only is Melvin Novotny on a hot streak, but Anthony Thomas Maroon is also on a 6-game point streak with 8 points in that stretch.
He steps to the slot, across the way they score! Melvin Novotny! A heavy one-time blast. Walsh leaves off for Blanchard. In front, Thomas Maroon, they score! It's the first career point in the USHL for Jackson Walsh. It starts a pretty passing play. Tic-tac-toe. Thomas Maroon makes it 5-1.
The Green Bay Gamblers are 6-2-2-0 in their last 10 games, undefeated in regulation over their 5 games. The Gamblers are buzzing right now in Wisconsin.
Nothing the whole game, tied it. And here's DeBricky! Just like that. Comes to Wooten. O'Sullivan again. Wooten, one-time shot, and a goal! Catch on the power play!
The other way, in this time is Roosevelt. Roosevelt shot beats Caleb Heilblocker's side, and Green Bay ties it at 1.
After Muskegon's big weekend, we actually had the chance to catch up with Melvin Novotny of the Lumberjacks, a Buffalo Sabres draft pick and a UMass Minutemen commit. So take a look at my sit-down with Melvin Novotny. Very happy to be joined by Melvin Novotny, who is in his first USHL season this year with the Muskegon Lumberjacks. He's a Buffalo Sabres draft pick and a UMass Minutemen commit. Melvin, what's going on? How you feeling after the big weekend?
Feeling very good. We had 3 games, 3 wins, so I'm excited about the weekend, and I'm happy.
You guys are buzzing right now, and I got to say, it's fun to watch the defending champs. I know you came into a team that won a championship last year, and what's it like for you just stepping into an environment like that, a team that is so used to winning that is still very hungry?
Yeah, it's awesome to step into such a good organization and to a team that just won and wants to do it again. I'm around players that are highly competitive every day and wants to win every day, so I'm excited for the whole season.
And you came over from Sweden. I'm wondering if you had been to the States before joining the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, I've been to the States a couple times, or like 2 or 3 times. I've been there for
Mhm.
in Dallas for the U18 Worlds. That was like the only time hockey wise, and then I've been to a family trip to New York City, and that's about it.
Oh, what'd you do in New York City? That's where I live. So I'm curious what the fam did while you were here.
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago. I was younger, and I mean, we just wanted to see US for the first time, so we went to a on a family trip and just saw the whole city and Central Park and Empire
Mhm.
State Building, all those cool buildings, and just to see the city was awesome. We also saw 2 NHL games, so
Oh,
that
no
was
way.
about it. Yeah, that was
That's super
awesome.
cool. What'd you make of Madison Square Garden?
Yeah, that was cool rink. I loved it, so that was a thing I will remember for a long time.
Awesome. I love to hear that. And speaking of going to MSG, visiting New York, maybe trying new foods, what's been like the biggest adjustment for you just being in the States now full time? Is there a new food you love? Is there the language barrier? What would you say has been, the biggest thing in your adjustment?
Yeah, it's kind of a fun story. I think the cinnamon rolls has for sure
Oh
is
yeah.
for sure one thing. Kind of known for liking them over here. Every time I'm at one of my friends' house, we always eat them over there. So it's yeah, that's the thing for sure.
Pretty good choice. But to get into hockey a little bit, you're tied for third in the league in points right now. Did you expect to be doing this well from the jump, or has the transition to the USHL been much smoother than you would have thought?
Um, to be honest, I didn't have any like expectations at all because it was just something all new, new league, and I just flew to the US, like a long way from home, and I didn't know what to expect, but I'm very happy with how the transition went, and I feel like it's been smooth too. So, um, but it's hard to say because you never know before. Like you're always prepared for it being harder than it maybe is. So I was kind of like
Mm.
being prepared for it to be extra hard, and then you never know because it's never good to go into a league and think like it will be easy, and then it'll be way harder. So I kind of had the opposite, I think.
Well, I know you're a humble kid, but you're currently riding a 9 game point streak. So are you basically going into every game right now expecting to produce?
No, not at all. I'm just trying to no, I'm just trying to play my game and then
Mhm.
yeah, I've been lucky putting up points to those 9 games and I feel like I'm playing good right now, but it's a long season. I just got to stick with it and yeah, just not think about it too much.
I know the lines have juggled a little bit, but as of late, you've been on a line with Burrs Collins, who's committed to Boston College, and Noringer, who's committed to BU. And knowing that you're committed to UMass, is it cool to play with guys who will be at that next step? Granted, they won't be on your team, but you'll be playing against them a lot in college. Like, is that a really comfortable feeling knowing that you're playing with guys who you'll go against and be friends with for a long time?
Yeah, it's kind of fun to be on a team right now with people that are going to play in the Hockey East, and then next year we're going to be rivals. So it's just cool to see players in the same jersey right now, and then next year they'll be in the opposite jersey. And um, yeah, you'll for sure be friends with them for a long time, and then next year, of course, we'll play against them. So it's cool to see.
Are you chirping at all with Burrs Collins? Because UMass plays BC, I think, this weekend for 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, we might watch the games together, and then just we'll see who'll be happy after the game.
So what made UMass the best fit for you? Obviously, I played there my freshman and sophomore year. I'm very familiar with the program, but curious what stood out for you for the Minutemen.
I like the way they play. They want to play their game the right way, and I feel like Greg is doing a very good job there by developing players and by playing the right way. I feel like, and that's kind of what stood out to me. And also, they've been in contact with me for almost 2 years, and felt like it was a good spot for me.
And Vaslav Nestrasil and Jack Galanick are there. Have you talked to those two at all about it since you're kind of following their footsteps a little bit?
Not really, not yet, but everyone in Muskegon has been telling me they're great guys, so I'm looking forward to be on the same team as them.
Awesome. Yeah, they're fun to watch. I'll tell you that for sure. But another guy I got to ask about, who's actually a friend of mine. But how cool has it been for you to have the chance to work with 3-time Stanley Cup champion Pat Maroon? Is he around the team a lot, on the bench? What's that been like, just having his voice around?
Yeah, I mean, to just have that experienced now coach is it's so good, and I love being around him. I'm very good friends with his son too, Anthony, and
Mhm.
he's a great guy. So I'm around him a lot, and I'm around Pat Maroon a lot too. So um, you obviously want to learn as much as you can, and on every device, you're always kind of taking the chance to ask him as much as you can, and we're doing video with him too, and yeah, I feel like he's a great resource for us.
He's hilarious too, right? I'm sure he's cracking
Oh yeah.
jokes all the time.
Oh yeah, I love him, and his stories are the best. He tells us a lot of stories about, yeah, how it was when he played, and yeah, everything about the NHL.
He's the best. Your playing style, you have such a high hockey IQ. I think you think the game one step ahead of everybody else. Who's your favorite NHL player to watch right now?
It's a hard question for me, but I kind of like how Demidov plays right now.
Mm,
He's playing an
he's
intense
fun.
game, and he's yeah, for sure, and he's creative and plays with a lot of intense, and I feel like he's a smart player, so kind of look up to him right now.
Do you follow the NHL closely? Like you checking box scores and stuff like that, watching games every night? What's
Yeah,
your
like
intake?
a little bit. Yeah, I have notifications on from NHL apps. So, I mean, follow box scores, and when I have free time, I always watch it on TV and just have it in the background almost every day.
And you were drafted by Buffalo this summer. I'm curious where you were when you heard your name called.
I was at home on the couch with my parents, just watching
Mhm.
watching the TV, and just saw my name pop out on the TV. So it was kind of a special moment.
And how was development camp and, stepping into an NHL facility for the first time, putting on the gear? I'm sure it's something that you're super excited about to be a part of a Buffalo Sabres organization.
Oh yeah, that was awesome, man. Just seeing the facilities and seeing all of the staff, the coaches and the player developers, and just putting on the jersey, and then also practicing with other people that are drafted from Sabres too. And there's a lot to learn from a lot of older guys too. And so yeah, it was very cool to be there.
All right. That's a good answer. I appreciate it. And thank you for your time, Melvin. Best of luck going forward. Excited to watch what you do the rest of the way. All right.
Thank you.
Great catching up with Melvin Novotny. Now let's give a shout out to some of our players who were featured in the U17 World Challenge. A big congrats to Michael Tang of the Madison Capitals and Ty Bergeron of the Muskegon Lumberjacks and the rest of the NTDP U17 team for taking home third place representing the U.S. at the World U17 Challenge. U.S. forward Braden Willis, who led the U.S. in scoring with 5 goals, 7 assists, 12 points, and Diego Gutierrez were named to the all-tournament team. Tang and Bergeron also scored in the tournament. Now let's go over to some of our USHL alumni that are playing in the NCAA. The next 6 players were named to the U.S. Spangler Cup roster last week. Vinny Borghese, the former Tri-City Storm, who's playing at Northeastern. Matt DeMarsico, the former Green Bay Gambler, who's playing at Penn State. Quinn Finley, the former Chicago Steel member and Madison Capital, who's playing at Wisconsin. Adam Guyon, who played for the Green Bay Gamblers and is now at Minnesota Duluth. Ryan Walsh, who played for the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders and is now at Cornell, and then JJ Webush, who played for Cedar Rapids and Sioux Falls and is now lighting it up at Penn State. 12 of the top 13 scorers in the NCAA right now are USHL alumni, so great to see those guys doing well at the Division I level. Time to highlight some of the players in the USHL who recently made their commitments. We already shouted out Alex Pelletier of the Lincoln Stars. He committed to Boston College. Luke Brierley of the Dubuque Fighting Saints committed to Brown. Harper Fry of the Madison Capitals committed to Wisconsin. Carter Ernst of the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders committed to St. Thomas, along with Cade Meyer of the Waterloo Blackhawks, who committed to St. Thomas as well. Big congrats to all 5 of those players who are moving on to the Division I level in the near future. Since we're talking about alumni, let's talk about the guys who are now tearing it up at the National Hockey League level. Macklin Celebrini was atop the NHL leaderboard in scoring over the weekend, and he continues to impress in his second full season with the San Jose Sharks, not even 3 years removed from his time with the Chicago Steel, and he's already becoming a superstar in the NHL. Ian Moore, the former Chicago Steel, Justin Ritzkovian, the former Cedar Rapids Rough Rider, and Dominic James, the former Lincoln Star, all scored their first NHL goals this month. Moore and James actually scored theirs last week, so congrats to all 3 of those players for potting home their first career National Hockey League goals. Here's what's coming up in the USHL. We got 8 games on Friday and 8 games on Saturday. Some of the rivalries that are featured on Friday will be the Omaha Lancers at the Lincoln Stars, the Sioux Falls Stampede at the Sioux City Musketeers, and we'll have series between the Chicago Steel at the NTDP U18s, Muskegon at Madison, Green Bay at Cedar Rapids, and Tri-City at Dubuque. And you can also catch Youngstown at Fargo. So lots of great matchups. And our live to social game on Flow Hockey will be between Youngstown at Fargo on Saturday, November 15th. The puck drop will be at 6:05 p.m. Central Time and 7:05 p.m. Eastern Time. There's plenty of teams with similar records in an Eastern Conference, Western Conference matchup. Youngstown is 11-5, 1-0, and Fargo is 9-5, 0-1. Remember, it's win, loss, OT loss, and shootout loss. Some top players to watch for is Cooper Simpson of the Youngstown Phantoms, who's drafted by the Boston Bruins and committed to North Dakota. Ryan Rasinski on the Youngstown Phantoms, who's committed to Ohio State. Jack Hextall, who's 2026 draft eligible, and he's committed to Michigan State. Malachi McKinnon, who's a 26 draft eligible player as well. He's committed to Maine. He played 9 games for Fargo over the last 2 seasons. Fargo's top goalie, A.J. White, committed to St. Thomas. Luke McNamara, who's committed to Western Michigan, and Garrett Lindbergh, who's committed to North Dakota. Tons of great players to watch for this coming weekend. That's going to wrap it up for week 8 of the U Show. We're excited to see what happens this coming weekend in the USHL, and we'll talk to you during week 9.